The CPI, we've talked about this on this show, is really made up by the government in this esoteric basket of nonsense that is really the government's way to weasel their way out of really giving you accurate cost of living, the adjustments, and then the better try to kind of inflate its way out of debt. And that's basically what the CPI has become, the way they factor it now. It's nothing like they used to factor it back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. Real price increases, though, ordinary Americans like you are facing, particularly when you think about the grocery store, are still at crushing levels of inflation. And that's what you care about. Most Americans didn't even know what the CPI was until inflation got so out of control that it just became part of our lives. But if you look at housing has become unaffordable for most Americans. Cars have become unaffordable for most Americans. Food prices have become unaffordable for most Americans. Gas at $4 a gallon, unsustainable and unaffordable for most Americans. So inflation that actually matters to you is not coming down. Most of you do not give a flying hoot about what the CPI year over year, month over month, 3.9 to 3.2 to 4.9, and month to month, year over year. 3.2 we got on the year over year. Great. That sounds great. 3.2 sounds great. So how is it 3.2? And how is that great when, again, you look at cars cost 30% more than they did 2 years ago? Food prices have doubled since 2019. Home and rent, unaffordable. Rent, still the biggest part of the CPI. Owner's equivalent rent, still unaffordable. Families can't afford anything. Services, repairs, nothing like this. Credit card just crossed over $1 trillion. So what matters to you has not let up at all. As a matter of fact, it's continually gotten worse. Wages have gone down. Inflation has gone up. You're losing. Your ice cube is melting. And I know you know this as well as anybody. You see it in housing. You see it in building. You see it everywhere.
I do see it everywhere, and I just saw it in New Hampshire again. They're facing a very cold winter. Predictions are a very cold winter. You're going to have home heating oil at $4 and $5 and $6 a gallon. You've got a large retired military, low pension population up there, retirees. They're going to get hammered. And I don't know if everybody's noticed that the supermarkets don't have the sales like they used to. I think they're saying the first time it's increased in 13 months. I think it's a total lie. People are getting crushed, and it's going to be a rough winter.
And you have surging oil prices that have not been factored in. And I'm telling you, I actually thought we might see a tick up this reading, which we did not. It came in line. But I would not be surprised at all. This idea that somehow the Fed has won, I would not be so quick to jump to that. I know a lot of people say, listen, the reading this morning is 90% owner's equivalent rent on the upside. That's the only thing that's going up. Everything else is in disinflation. But oil prices have surged, and it hasn't caught up yet with these readings. So it would not surprise me to see surging oil prices affect the next CPI read and have it tick up a little bit.